Welcome to the rhythmic world of drum and bass, the genre that has been making hearts race and feet move since the 90s. A roller coaster ride of pulsating beats and mind-bending bass lines, drum and bass has left an indelible mark on the global music scene. From underground raves to mainstream charts, these explosive sounds have captivated millions, transcending borders and cultures. So, fasten your seatbelts and get ready to dive deep into the origins and evolution of this electrifying musical genre. Our journey starts in the heart of the UK during the early 90s. This was a time of cultural shifts and musical revolutions. The air was thick with creativity, and from this melting pot of ideas and influences, a new sound emerged, a sound that would come to be known as drum and bass. Drum and bass music didn't just appear out of thin air. It has roots that dig deep into the fertile soil of several musical genres. The first of these is jungle music, a genre that itself was a hybrid, combining elements of reggae and breakbeat. Jungle music was characterized by its fast tempos and heavy bass lines, elements that would become cornerstones of drum and bass. But the jungle was just the beginning. Drum and bass also drew heavily from reggae music, particularly its emphasis on bass and sub-bass. The genre's connection to reggae goes beyond just musical elements. It also shares reggae's spirit of rebellion and social commentary. Another significant influence was breakbeat hardcore. This genre, which was popular in the UK rave scene in the early 90s, provided the fast-paced, energetic beats that would become a hallmark of drum and bass. It's important to remember that while these genres provided the building blocks, it was the DJs of the UK who were the architects. DJs like Goldie, Bukem, and Fabio and Grooverider were instrumental in shaping and refining the sound of drum and bass. They experimented, innovated, and pushed the boundaries of what was possible, creating a unique soundscape that was unlike anything anyone had heard before. These DJs didn't just play music, they created a culture. They brought people together, breaking barriers and building communities. They made drum and bass more than just a genre, they made it a movement. And so, from the heart of the UK in the early 90s, drum and bass was born. It was a product of its time, a reflection of the cultural shifts and musical revolutions that were happening. It was these early pioneers who laid the groundwork for the drum and bass we know and love today. As the 90s progressed, so did the sound of drum and bass. It was a decade of exploration and innovation, a time when this genre truly began to find its rhythm and voice. The early to mid-90s saw the emergence of jungle, a subgenre that infused elements of reggae, dancehall, and hip-hop into the drum and bass mix. This was the era of artists like Goldie and Bukem, who pushed the boundaries of what was possible within the genre. But the evolution didn't stop there. As the decade wore on, drum and bass began to splinter into multiple subgenres, each with its own distinctive sound. Techstep, for instance, was a darker, more industrial take on drum and bass. It was a response to the optimism of the early 90s, a reflection of the grittier, more complex world of the late 90s. Meanwhile, the rise of digital technology was having a profound impact on the sound of drum and bass. New software and hardware allowed for greater experimentation, leading to the creation of sounds that had never been heard before. This was the era of artists like Photek and Ed Rush, whose complex, intricate beats helped to redefine what drum and bass could be. And as the sound evolved, so did its popularity. By the late 90s, drum and bass had broken out of the underground and was starting to make waves in the mainstream. It was a staple in clubs across the UK and was beginning to gain traction in other parts of the world as well. It was being featured in movies, commercials, and video games, helping to introduce a whole new audience to the genre. This evolution marked the beginning of a new era for drum and bass, propelling it into the mainstream music scene. But as we'll see in the next scene, this was just the beginning. The best, as they say, was yet to come. With the turn of the millennium, drum and bass began to resonate beyond the UK borders. It was a pulsating heartbeat, a rhythm that found its way into the farthest corners of the globe, setting the pace for a new era of music. The 2000s marked a new chapter in the journey of drum and bass. It was no longer just a British phenomenon. The genre started seeping into diverse cultures, each embracing and adding its own unique flavor to the music. From the sunlit beaches of Brazil to the neon-lit streets of Tokyo, drum and bass began to reverberate with a global rhythm. In Europe, countries like Germany, the Netherlands, and Belgium welcomed drum and bass with open arms, hosting massive festivals dedicated to the genre. It was here that drum and bass found a second home, and the genre's influence began to ripple across the continent. Across the Atlantic, the United States and Canada also caught the drum and bass fever. The genre was adopted and adapted, influencing the evolution of their local music scenes. As a result, a new wave of North American drum and bass artists emerged, further propelling the genre's global reach. Meanwhile, in the Southern Hemisphere, Australia and New Zealand were quick to jump on the drum and bass bandwagon. The genre's high-energy beats were a perfect fit for their vibrant festival scenes, further fueling its popularity. But the influence of drum and bass didn't stop at the dance floor. It made its way into other music genres, from hip-hop to pop, from rock to electronic music. Artists worldwide began to incorporate elements of drum and bass into their music, creating a fusion of sounds that was both fresh and familiar. The global spread of drum and bass in the 2000s wasn't just about geographical boundaries. It was a testament to the genre's versatility, its ability to transcend cultural differences, and its power to unite people through music. The global spread of drum and bass solidified its status as a powerful and influential genre. Fast forward to today, and drum and bass continues to thrive and evolve. It's a genre that refuses to stand still, constantly pushing its boundaries and reinventing itself. Its pulsating energy, intricate rhythms, and powerful bass lines have not only persisted, but also thrived in the contemporary music scene. The modern drum and bass landscape is a vibrant tapestry, teeming with a myriad of subgenres. From the dark and heavy sounds of neurofunk to the smooth, sultry tones of liquid drum and bass, there is something for everyone. And let's not forget about jump up, a subgenre that packs a punch with its playful, high-energy beats. These subgenres, along with many others, demonstrate the versatility of drum and bass and its ability to cater to a wide range of musical tastes. But the influence of drum and bass extends beyond the dance floor. It has permeated popular culture, influencing everything from fashion to film. It's not uncommon to hear a drum and bass track in a blockbuster movie or see a fashion line inspired by the genre's aesthetic. And let's not even get started on the number of memes, viral videos, and social media trends that drum and bass has spawned. While the genre has undoubtedly had its ups and downs, its resilience is undeniable. Drum and bass has weathered the storm of changing music trends and emerged stronger than ever. It's a testament to the enduring appeal of its unique sound and the passionate community that supports it. And it's not just about the music. Drum and bass is a culture, a movement, a way of life for many. It's a genre that brings people together, fostering a sense of unity and camaraderie among its listeners. Whether it's at a festival, a club, or even in the comfort of your own home, drum and bass has the power to transport you to another world. Drum and bass is more than a music genre. It's a worldwide phenomenon that continues to shape the global music scene. So there you have it, a brief look at the exciting journey of drum and bass music. From its humble beginnings in the United Kingdom during the early 90s, it has taken the world by storm. Born from the fusion of breakbeat, jungle, and rave, drum and bass carved out its unique sound, setting the stage for a musical revolution. This genre grew and evolved, shaping and being shaped by the cultural tides of the time. The rapid breakbeat drum patterns and heavy bass lines became its signature, and the world started to listen. The evolution of drum and bass has been a dynamic one, with subgenres like liquid, tech step, and neurofunk, each adding their distinct flavor to the mix. As the new millennium dawned, drum and bass burst onto the global scene. It transcended borders and cultures, from the clubs of London to the dance floors of Tokyo, the beaches of Ibiza, and beyond. It's not just the music that's gone global, but the community too. Fans, DJs, and producers from all corners of the globe have come together, united by the pulsating rhythms of drum and bass. In the modern scene, drum and bass continues to innovate and inspire. It's a testament to the genre's flexibility and enduring appeal. From its early roots in the UK to its worldwide influence today, drum and bass remains a powerful force in music, and its beat goes on.